What's up, guys? Today we are going over ST21, the new starter deck Luffy in the Gear 5 in the red category with 5 life. Basically just a revamp of the OP01 red Luffy, or the starter deck 01 Luffy. And it's very similar in many ways, very similar deck structure, but a lot of new cards to play around with. And so you guys know, we are going to cook up with some of these cards in very, very different decks than this. Zoro, just being able to play out a 6,000 base power character other than Zoro from your hand is crazy. Of course, it has to be red, but it just plays out a Rush Luffy or something like that. This deck has a lot of potential to be played in other decks, to be 100% honest with you. But I think this deck's going to be a lot of fun. A ×1 Dawn to put on the leader, it's okay. I see where they're going with it, but for me, you only get 2 rested Dawn, then you just get to swing a little heavier, so you really have to play into the aggro strategy rather than more of a board removal or something like that. So I don't know. We'll see how it does, but before we get into the full deck list, like, subscribe, join the Discord down below. We're almost 500 subs, so once we hit 500 subs, we will be doing some kind of giveaway, probably a box or doing a cash tournament or something fun on the Discord. So join down below, come hang out, buy, sell, trade, whatever you want to do, come vibe. One Piece family, I love you. Let's get to the deck list. So if you don't know, like I said, ×1 Dawn, activate main once per turn, give up to one of your characters, up to 2 rested Dawn. So I guess it works for like Rush Luffy that needs 2 Dawn for its effect, or I guess the Zoro, because you can give it Rush on its turn of play. So if you go first, this is into 5, so 4, you give 1 to leader, and then this will get Rush, which I guess could be good, or developing the characters that give a Dawn, but nothing else really needs 2 Dawn. To be honest with the deck build, these are the only 2 characters that really maximize our potential here, which is my only issue with the deck. Now we get into our 2K counters. 2K Sanji, this is just searchable 2K, but also when we are getting starved out, which happens a lot with this ST21 or ST01 at Luffy's. This is something that happens, so I think it's a really good card, and it can help in those different matchups that want to starve you out. We got our other 2K counter is going to be Makino. This one's okay. It's definitely changeable. If we want to go more control, we could change it out for Otama and stuff like that. But it definitely works on like Nami searchers, tapping 1 Dawn to become a 5K character. Put 1 on leader. Now we can swing 7 with this character. We used 1 for this. We need to just use 1 more Dawn for something. And then this can become a 7K with 2 rested Dawn while developing smaller bodies, but still getting bodies on the board. So it can help us with those lethal swings that may not be expected. To finish off our 2Ks, we're sitting with the new Sanji from the ST21. Choose up to one of your Straw Hat type characters at 6,000 power or more. During this turn, your opponent cannot activate a blocker when that character attacks. And one big thing to think about with this card is that if you put Dawn on a character or it gains power, this effect is still active. So if we use it on this Sanji per se, this would become a 7K, right? Now it becomes unblockable with this other Sanji because it doesn't say you can't choose Sanji, right? So now this is a 7K that's unblockable. We put 1 Dawn on leader, and then we give this 2 rested Dawn for the Sanji. So now it's 9K. We still have 8 more Dawn to put on this character. So it's a 17K at face. That's pretty solid right there. Well, I guess we don't have the 2 rested Dawn because we used it for this effect. We go 15 at face, unblockable. That's still pretty dang solid. There's definitely some good closers for the game, but it's just getting there. That's the hard part, just hit face. And so something that helps us find our key pieces is going to be Nami. The 5-drop searcher to grab a Straw Hat. The whole deck is almost Straw Hat. So this card's going to be very valuable to find in your first turn, but we have a lot of first turn plays with this other Nami. Give up to 1 rested Dawn to one of your leaders or characters so we can get the leader effect for free, basically, which does make it a lot stronger. Same thing with Koala here, which does the exact same thing, but these are such pivotal cards in this deck list that if you don't find them, it puts you in a more difficult position, honestly. And the issue with the Nami is it's not searchable with this because it says other than Nami, and then Koala is not Straw Hat Crew, so it's also not searchable. And then the 1-cost event doesn't search it out either. You can grab the Nami, to be fair. With the 1-cost event, you can grab the Nami, but you can't grab the Koala, so that's why we have to play this, is for those situations that we need this Nami to get the 1 extra Dawn. Then we have 3-drop Zoro. We're going second, this on 4. You drop 4, you put 1 on leader, then this becomes a 6K swing, this becomes a 7K swing, all in just the second turn. Like, so strong, really just hitting face and bashing them in. Of course, our top end is going to be the dragon here. Give up to 2 rested Dawn to one of your leaders or characters. So now we can put 2 rested Dawn here, put 2 more Dawn on Luffy, or we can put 2 rested Dawn on leader, 2 more Dawn on Luffy on a 10-drop turn, right? So it's 9K, and then we swing 9 with Luffy. We use leader effect, put 2 rested Dawn on dragon now, and now it's 9K and an 11K swing. We got this 3-drop SR Sanji from OPO 10. This character gains plus 3,000 power, and then on KO draw 1 card. It helps us when they do remove our characters to at least keep the game going. Same thing with what you'll see with this Zoro. It really helps in those black matchups to have characters like this that on KO do get some kind of ability so that we have a better matchup, honestly, into black, because black does cook against red. We've just seen that in the meta over time, and it's just the truth. We'll go into this Luffy. This is the ST21 Luffy. We have a cat in my face. This card has Rush. Times 2 down when attacking this character. Your opponent cannot activate blockers. So another unblockable character can just finish up the game. It has 0 counter, which we run, what, 22 0 counter cards. So that's something we might have to work on in the future. But I think we just don't care about countering and we just want to bash in their face anyway. So just keep that in mind when you are playing the deck. We have this other 5-cost Luffy. Give up to one of your leaders or characters 1 Rested Dawn. So we can play this on 5, give the Rested Dawn to leader, swing 6, and then swing 8 with this Luffy with Rush, because it does have Rush, and so it helps us use our leader ability effectively, and that is when attacking, I guess, so maybe it's not as effective as I was thinking, but I guess if we go on a first on curve, we have the 3-drop here, so we go 6 with this, 6 with leader, put 2 Dawn here, and swing 8 with the Sanji if we play that on our 3 Dawn turn. I think this needs a stronger 3-drop play just for this deck list and for the idea, because that's never going to be guaranteed. We also have the Zoro, I guess, so I guess there's 2 parts, but usually if we're playing Rush Zoro, he's going to get KO'd in the next turn, so I don't know. I'm trying to explain all the lines for you guys while also not taking forever, because I know you guys don't want to hear me yap. You just want to see some games, so sorry, I'm just trying to give you all of the lines of play that I can think of as we go through. Now let's finish off with a 1-cost searcher. No, this is super simple. You know what it does. Look at top 5. Zoro. This is my favorite card from the deck list, honestly. It just plays out a red character, not Straw Hat, not anything like that. A red character with 6,000 base power or less, other than Zoro from your hand. I really like this, and I really might like this in Trafalgar Law. Being a 1k counter while also cheating out another body, and you're able to give it Rush if you want to, I definitely think we can play this in a Law deck list, especially as we continue to get more green Straw Hat. We can literally go red and green Straw Hats together, make the whole deck searchable, continue searching, and I think it would be beautiful. So we are going to be testing that very, very soon and using some of these cards in a lot of other decks. But anyways, like I said, join the Discord, One Piece family. I love you. Let's get into some games and have some fun. Pudding. I think we'll take first away from them just to take them off curve. We do get our 3-drop. We get a 1-drop, but it's not the best. I think we will keep this, though, because we do have the Rush bodies. We have a few new cards. We'll pass turn. Nothing to play on 1. I think it's going to be pretty good. We are going to be bashing in the face just like we want to, and this is looking like a perfect hand. Getting the 5-cost right here. We could rush in a little extra, or we can do extra on our next turn. We know they don't have removal. That's not the deck they play. So we're going to actually play the Sanji here to get more, because we could play the Zoro, but then it forces cards out of our hand. This is going to let us get more cards in our hand. So it's like the exact opposite effect. They're going to swing 6 at us. We're going to take. We're a 5-life leader. We don't care, and we just take that. Get another 2k counter. They do have the 2-cost event in life, which is kind of scary. So we're going to play this out. For 5 here, we are going to swing 6 at life, give 1 Rested Dawn to our leader. We're going to then swing 6 again, because none of these triggers really affect us. They get to search out a cost 4 or higher, so if you don't know what this does, that's literally just what it does. It is the music type as well, so that's going to be fun to play in Uta in the future, so definitely keep that in mind, guys. That's going to be a little bit of a fun one. We will be giving 2 Dawn here. We are playing very aggressive. They should counter out of this, in my opinion. Counter this one. I guess not. I guess they're going to block this one, because we are going to go 8 into face here, and I told you we are bashing them in. So they block out. They're going to 6 here, so they probably swing with lead into the Sanji, which we will get to draw a card, or we could counter out aggressively, but I don't know if that's the play. We do have a ton of 2Ks, but they play the Charlotte Katakuri. They have no life to flip. They should have done that first. We know they have a Veggie and a Brulee now, so we could give them 2 2Ks here and keep this alive, knowing that we get to draw a card on our next turn, and we're about to go crazy. So I think we will. It might be greedy, but that's kind of what we need to do at this point. We're sitting at a solid 7 Dawn, so we need to play something out, which is going to be a 3-drop 5k, because the math here just works better. This is 2 extra Dawn available, and we will get to use this effect. So the cool thing is we can go 6 here. We're waiting for him to pop the Veggie, because this is the only character that is when attacking, so whatever he does kind of hit, we can play around with. So we can go 7, 8 here into face, and then we can give 2 Rested Dawn to either of these and swing 9 or 10. So he has to use the Veggie on the smaller character, which keeps his character alive more than likely. So he chooses incorrectly. His character is just stronger. I don't know why you wouldn't do this one. We're actually going to swing 9 here, and then we're going to play out the Koala. The Koala will just give us an extra free Dawn on our next turn, so we're not too stressed about it. And he does go to 10 drop Big Mom time, right? So we have to be ready for that. He probably goes 5 here, 7 here. We're going to let this die this time because we want to be able to save our Luffy. We get to draw a card, and then he's going to go 6 or 7 into the Luffy. Obviously, we're going to counter out because that Luffy is just way too strong. So we'll give him a 2k counter. He's seeing that, wow, this guy has a ton of counter here. And he gets the ace. Wow, I did not expect the ace here. He does clear our body, but I don't know if it's enough, if I'm honest with you guys, because we do have Dragon coming down. Dragon will be really good here, unless he has a Veggie, which would be very unlucky. We'll go 2 here, and now we can swing 7, 8, and 9. So we'll go 7 into face. He'll have to counter out, so we're going to try to force cards out of hand here, because if he takes, we're just bashing in his head as usual, and I think that's pretty good. So he decides to take. We're going to give 2 Rested Dawn here to our Zoro. We are going to swing 8 into face, because now if he does counter or block, we could go 9 into Katakuri. So if he does counter, it doesn't really matter. I guess it's better to go into life because it forces the blocker. If we go into Katakuri, he could technically counter, so we're actually in a really safe spot because we have an unblockable Luffy. He needs another 10 drop here, and I'm assuming he probably has it. We won't be able to counter out of our Dragon or our Zoro. We could give him 1 here, but I don't think it's worth it. I'd rather just get hit in the face to get more cards in hand, more rush options, all that good jazz. We'll give that up as well, and then he should swing our face. Honestly, he probably shouldn't swing our face if I'm real with you guys. Don't give us more cards. So he does get the Yamato, the 9-drop Yamato here, and then does he choose to swing? He does. That's crazy to me, guys. That's crazy. He has 1 up as active, so what we could do is technically go 5 or 6, 6, 8, and then get a little bit more bodies on the board and continue to get cards out of hand. The only issue is we won't have any rush options after this, so I don't know if that's the best option here. We do know we need to play this out for 5. I think we just go in, because this gives us a secondary rush option if we need it. They've been better actually to play this out first, but this at least lets us go, what, split 9 and 9 and 10. So we'll go 9 into face. He will have to probably get out of this unless he gets some kind of crazy trigger. He does not. We are unblockable, so even if he got the Brulee, we were fine. We'll go 9 again. See if he's got it. He don't got it. He had the ace out of life there, it looks like. The Veggie was already in hand. Only 2k counter. That's how you do it. No fear, just go into face. I didn't even care about these guys. Blackbeard matchup, guys. We're going to have to see how this goes. We're going to take first again. I really like the first curve, especially with this. Ooh, we may keep this just for the Zoro, just because it can save itself, basically. I don't even know if it's worth playing the Nami out, because on 3 we don't really have a play. We're probably just going to go into face because it's not worth playing out the Sanji. I don't think he could try to starve us out, so I don't know. I think we'll just pass on that. I don't think it's worth playing the Nami. He would just kill it with Doc Q this turn, and then we're just in a tough spot. He chooses to play Lafitte instead. Of course, that's going to be an amazing option for him, but we can clear that pretty easily on the next turn. He does get a Vasco shot in hand, and we will just go 5 here. Counter, I dare you. We still have our on play, so we will use it and grab a Sanji to hand just for later, and then play out the 2-drop Sanji. This card's gonna be really good for keeping us from getting starved out, to keep the early aggression. That's why this card's really important right now. A lot of times it wouldn't be good, but I think in this situation it will. We will give him, we'll just take. I'm not stressed about it. I'm not stressed about it. I'm not going to play it differently just because he plays it differently, you know what I'm saying? So he gets the Vasco shot. We don't care. Honestly, we do not care. We're going to play out this Zoro just because it has the unKOable ability. We're going to play this out. We're going to swing, let's swing the 6 into face first, or should we go 6 into Doc Q here? Letting him draw a card might not be good. He doesn't have anything to pair it with. Now we'll go 6 into Doc Q. That may be the wrong choice there, I'm going to be honest with you guys. So then we swing 7 here, take a life. Now we're down to 3 life, but he does not get to aggro us down. We have a ton of cards in hand. Not a ton of counter, but I think we'll be okay. We'll give 2 here, get rush again, and then go 7 into face. And this is how we push the tempo. He does give us the Vasco shot, but we have a good amount of counter now. And if he does clear this out, because it's on KO, so no matter how he KOs it, we cheat out of Luffy. It just gets replaced with a better body. Let's be real, guys. So not too stressed about that one. I'm excited to see how he plays this, because us having rush, I think we have a great matchup before Tendon. After Tendon, we're kind of cooked. And do I want to counter out of this? Not really. I didn't really want to take any more life anyway, so I'm not too stressed about it being at this point. I think we're in a really good spot. He gets the Liberation, getting rid of our character's effect, which is going to be honestly really good play by him. So we could play this out for 4 and then play this out. I'm trying to think of what we could play here, you know what I mean? So it's not much going on over here now that he's done this. So we can play out our Monkey D. Luffy. We can go 1 Dawn on leader, right? So we can go 8 and 8. If we go 2 here, give him 2 rested Dawn, and then we go 8 in the face, give him 1 rested Dawn, and then we'll go 8 again. Again, we're just bashing their head in. We're not too stressed about it. He needs to clear our bodies, so he's going to have to do some swings or develop characters to clear our board, because we can continue to spam out rush bodies. There's not much he can do. He gets the finger pistol, the finger gun. They always get the finger gun, guys. Tell me I'm wrong on that one. They're going to 8. They could play it on 2 burgers. Burgers would not be good for us at this point, but he's still not found his Hachinosu or full of lead or whatever. He goes 6 in the face. We will take, because we're trying to keep our bodies pretty safe. And you notice he has not used his leader ability at all. So kind of crazy to me to not use the leader ability at all this game, but I do understand it. Developing one of these earlier would have been nice for this point of the game, but you can see why we weren't able to, because then we would be cooked. I think we do double Zoros here, right? Just develop 2 bodies on the board, and then we put 1 on leader, so we can go ahead and get the swing in. We'll wait to do this. We'll swing 6 first, just in case he does KO 1. But if he does KO 1, we get to bring out a 5-drop Luffy, so it was for the just in case, because you never really know, right? We'll go 7 into face. He will get the free swing with the Kuzan on the next turn, but now is the point that thankfully we took all that life, so we can counter out a little more aggressively here, and we have unblockable. This is going to be the most important card in this matchup. 5 into this. We could let it go, honestly, just to get another body, but I think we don't, just because he's about to use his leader or his 10 drop on us, right? So I think we'll give him the Nami. I think it's a little too late to play out the Nami at this point in the game, and it may be too late for this Nami as well. I just don't want him to stop our unblockable here, so that's why we're not just letting this die. Obviously, it kind of sucks, but it's just part of the game we play. He uses the Kuzan to get out the Vasco shot, which is kind of smart in my opinion, really saving him out, but I can see why that card's just so strong. Now we could let this die and then play out a character from hand, being this Luffy, and then it forces him to not use his leader effect on this one, so either way, we're gonna get... I don't think it's worth using the counter. We just play out this Luffy. It does have rush, obviously, but that doesn't matter on his turn. Now he's going to stun this Luffy, but we keep our unblockable Luffy, guys. Tell me that's not insane. Tell me you're not sitting there, oh my gosh, this guy is cooked. Because we get to go unblockable, right? So we will save the unblockable, I think, just for a future turn. We'll go, probably we could go, what, 5, 5, play the unblockable, go unblockable now. So I think that's what we'll do. So that gives us 3, 5. So we have 2 extra Dawn. We'll go 5, 7. No, 5, 6, 6, 8. It looks like. So 5 in the face here. We'll see what he wants to do, how he wants to counter out, or if he even wants to. If he just takes the free block, which may not be bad, honestly. If I was him, I'd probably just take the free block here. Now we're gonna go 6 in the face. We're gonna have Petunia in our face as well. Per usual, you know how she is. Now he gets the free block, so we play out a 3-drop Zora, having more Dawn left. We go 6 into face here, and we're just developing bodies. We just don't care. He's gonna be able to clear 1 thing next turn if he wants to do another 10 drop, stun 1 thing, and we're gonna have 2 extra bodies. He has to clear this Monkey D. Luffy. He has to on his next turn, because this guy's gonna be an 8K that comes in. He's gonna be unblockable. So I can't do anything about this, and now he is down to 0 life. You know what I mean? So now next turn, we could technically drop the next one on him. He has a ton of cards in hand, but we're not too stressed about it. Honestly, we could save whatever we want on the first swing, force him to do 2 swings. We have to counter out of whatever he does here, right? If I was him, I may forego the Marshal D teach play just to clear up the board more, but I don't think that's the right play either. And especially if he thinks, well, if he has any unblockable, I'm cooked. Legitimately, I am cooked. So we'll have to see what we do here. We could always play out the Nami to search on the next turn, trying to find another unblockable Luffy. This card is very important in this matchup, but he's going to need to take a second to figure out what he wants to do. We can't use the Zoro effect, guys. We cannot use the Zoro effect, because if we do, we play this out, it gets stunned, and then he clears the other one with this, and he does the exact card I was thinking of. Liberation, KOing a 6 cost or lower and another character. We play out our Nami, getting to find... we'll grab another rush body. If you're going to clear my board, I don't need counter, right? So he's going to be able to go 5 here, or maybe more actually. Chooses to play the Hachinosu, or the Feled as it's known in English, ditching the Hachinosu from hand and grabbing a Jesus Burger, which is a really good card at 16 cards. So once he drops that down on us, that is 4K counter, right? But now we've just seen, let's do the math here. If we don't counter out of this, he swings 12 in a face. Do we care about taking 12 in a face? He didn't stun any of our characters. We're unblockable. I don't think so. I don't think we're worried about this, right? I think we'll just take... No. We'll let it go. We're going to win on this next turn. So we know his hand, right? He's a Van Augur. He has 2 1K counters and a no K counter. We saw him grab the Kuzan as well. We saw him grab the Burgess. So what we could do here is tap down 1 for this, getting 2 Rested Dawn later. So we got to math this out a little bit, because we're going to swing this guy first, and then we are going to put 1 Rested Dawn on leader in just a moment to get 2 extra Rested Dawn for our Luffy swing. So we'll play this out for 1. We'll swing 6 into face. We're going all in with this Luffy right here, the unblockable Luffy. So that's why we're getting all these Rested Dawn. So basically this is a 2-cost character, and I knew he would counter out of hand out of fear of something else, right? So now we play this. We give 2 Rested Dawn. We give 1 Rested Dawn. We go all of our Dawn, and we just win the game. He concedes right there. He only had 1, 2, 3K counter, and we saw he gave us 2 1Ks a second ago. That's GG's to our opponent. That's how you beat the Blackbeard. You just rush them down. Just don't care. I think killing the Doc Q was okay, but it wasn't as impactful in the game as we thought it might be. Maybe not killing it would have been okay, especially because, I don't know. That one was 50-50, but I think we did really good. I think we did exactly what we're supposed to with this deck. We'll get into the next game and probably do 1 or 2 more. I don't know. We'll see how it goes, and then we'll keep playing. I don't know, guys. Don't forget, guys, that down in the description there will be a link to the full deck list. I got this off of, let's look at the website, spellmana.com. Just trying to find a random deck list. I think this one suits me. Just having the rush options here with all of these characters. So I'm enjoying it. Let's get into some more games. I just want to jump in and let you know that the deck list is down below. You can copy and paste it into your sim. Simply just using copy or import deck from clipboard. Just copy it and then put it in. You got it. Let's get into another game. All right, we get to take on Boa Hancock. She chooses to go first, which means we are going second. I think that's how that works, right? So I think we will, we'll mulligan that hand. I think there's just not enough opportunity there, but here there is a ton. We'll see what we draw off the top, and if it's a Nami, we're gonna use the Nami. We'll use this first and probably grab out a Nami. That's the easiest searchable target that we can't get later. Giving us the 1 additional Rested Dawn, I think will be very good. And we won't even play this Nami yet, because next turn, this will now let us play this on 3, having 2 extra Dawn, 5 in a face. We will just take and use the trigger. I'll keep searching. If you want me to keep looking, I'll keep looking. We have a good amount of counter, but I think we could use a little more for later. We already have a ton of rush options, so I think we'll go with a 2K counter Sanji here, just getting more counter in hand for when he is bouncing a lot of our bodies back. We don't want to get into the late game against this deck. That's when things get tough. So we're going to be on 4 on the next one. We're going to drop probably the 4-drop Zoro, getting 1 Rested Dawn on leader, and then 2 going on our Zoro, swinging 6 and 7 into face. We could always go for the Nami search, but I think we're pretty set up right now. I don't think we need to search, so it would give more effect to this Makino later, but I really think this is the better play. We give 1 here, we swing 6 in a face, see what he wants to do. He may take. The only issue with this leader effect is that it's usually the smallest swing, so if he does get some kind of trigger off the top, we are cooked. He doesn't, never punished, you know how it is. 7 into face, probably gives us the blocker, then we pass turn. We're sitting in a pretty good spot here. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Because if he wants to clear this, right, he needs to bounce this. That's genuinely what he needs to do. We don't have any removal for these small bodies, so Trafalgar Law would be really good against our deck. But we also have rush on all of our bodies. And this swing right here, look at this. So 5 in a face means that there is some reason he's not swinging this guy other than the character effect, right? Because I think even with that, I think he would still try to get more cards out of hand that way. So we know we should probably counter out of this, in my opinion, because he's going to bounce our character, right? That's at least what I'm playing based off of. I don't know. I guess we'll take. We'll see how it goes, just taking that attack. He plays out the 1-drop Trafalgar Law, Jinbei into Law, playing Sengoku, bouncing this back just as expected, guys. I told you I saw it coming. So now, what do? We're going to play 2 bodies on the board, making it harder for him to bounce. We're going to get 1 Rested Dawn on our leader. We're going to swing 6 into face, and then we're going to go 7 into face. He's probably going to block out of the 7 again, just as he did earlier. So now we'll go 7 here. He's going to clear this out probably with his swings in the next turn. We do have a good amount of counter now. Now we are J chillin', and we have a big body to play down with rush. 5. He could play out a 1-drop and bounce one of our characters, probably the Sanji, back to hand. Do we want to give up our hand for this? I think we may give him 1. I don't think we'll give him more than that, though. So the only reason I'm doing this is because he could swing potentially 7 into life, which we don't want to counter out of. So I would want to maybe take it, but 2 7s into life, you got to counter 1. I think the 5 is just a little cheaper for us to get out of at this point. But again, I expect him to play a 1-drop Sengoku and then 6-drop Jozu, bouncing our Sanji back to hand, basically giving us nothing to do with it. So that's going to be the tough spot that we are in, but it's better than playing out this Luffy in the last turn just because there was nothing to give the 2-rested Dawn. Boa is just, I think, the bane of my existence. Playing against this deck, I don't know that I've ever beaten it in the recent times. It's so annoying to me. I don't know what it is. This deck just gets me every time. He goes 5 again. Call me crazy. Call me crazy. Please call me crazy. I will save this with every card in my hand if I have to. I think we'll keep the Nami just to search something out, which means I want to keep the Maki, and we don't want to take any life. We'll give him a 2k counter. Call me crazy. Because this at least lets us keep the board presence even as he's bouncing our targets continuously, giving us a character to give a 2-rested Dawn to. He gets the Kyros to bounce back to Sanji, something I could have seen coming, honestly. And I think our numbers are better if we play this rather than the Dragon. Let's think about this. No matter what, 8, we get 2 on leader, 2 here, 1 extra here, so we go 7, 8, 9 with the Dragon. Or with the Luffy, we have 3 extra Dawn, so we get 1, 2, and then 3, 4, so we get to go 4 Dawn across the board. I think the Dragon actually is the better play, based off my math calculations. We're going to go 7 here. He's more than likely just going to give it up. We're going to go 7, and then if he doesn't, we're going to go 8 and 9. So if I was him, I would just let that go. We're going to go 8, forcing out 2 2k counters, hopefully. If not, it is what it is. That's fine. Now we get to go 9 into face. Dragon is just so strong, and it gets us a big body on the board that's going to be harder for him to get rid of. Now he's going to be on 9. He could play a Red Rock, have 3 extra Dawn, but I don't know if that would be enough. 8 cards in hand, he doesn't get his draw ability. We could just be pressing face too, so let me know if you think that's the better option. He gets the 2k, could just like let him develop the board and just be like, hey, you're gonna do it anyway, so I might as well not stop you. So I don't know, I'm kind of pressed between the two. We have a solid 1, 2, 3, 4, 5k counter, and then a no K counter. So 5k is pretty solid, but anything he swings the Ryuma into, or the Kyros into, if he swings it into Zoro, it's gone. So he could go, to Zoro, test the waters if we want to counter out or not, and then decide what he wants to do, because then I would probably do the Red Rock. Again, I'm going to save this guy. I think we get a lot more value out of this and this in the moment. Not much out of this because he's just going to bounce it every time, right? So now this forces the Kyros into the Zoro as well. And then, like I said, I could see a Red Rock coming in here, bouncing the Dragon to the bottom of the deck. He does not have the Red Rock, so now we're going to press into face. We are going face as the place, as they say, right? We're going to probably pound the Monkey D. Luffy, the Nami. He could bounce back our Nami. He has nothing to play off of that, so that's kind of good. So we are going to play this down, see what we can find. We do find the Zoro here, which could potentially have Rush, because we play this for 5, this for 4. Okay, I'm seeing the math here. 5, swing into face, give this Arrested Dawn. Now when we play the Zoro for 4, we're getting instant value, right? So we're going to wait to play the Zoro. We're going to swing the 6 first, just in case he does take, right? Just in case there is that trigger to bottom deck one of our characters or do something like that. One of those obnoxious things that you do have to play around with this deck. He has 1 active, which I don't think they play any counter events, probably just didn't have anything to do with it. No 1-drops, which is kind of good to know. No Trafalgar Law Blocker or anything like that. But that also means there's no, no counter. That would be. I'm assuming they have a Gravity Blade in hand right now. Gravity Blade being very, very good in this moment, in my opinion, Also, we kind of misplayed because we could have gone, 7 here, 7 here, and then 9 here. So we did just misplay that, guys. I'm going to be honest. I just noticed it. He has to give us 2 1Ks. He has to give us 2 1Ks. Oh, we didn't mess up. We did not mess up at all, because look at this. Boom, bam, bop. He gets Rush now, right? So we go 7. And now we see he takes. So if he would have countered out there, I would give the Rested Dawn to Dragon, and I would have swung into Kyros for 2 1Ks, right? If he would have blocked out. But of course he didn't. He blocks this one. We pass turn. We're chilling. We're chilling, boys. We have a very small hand that's got you see. Just like I said, he had the Gravity Blade. I told you he did. I knew he did. And I'm expecting a 12 into 9 here. which is kind of probably pretty good. We will give up our whole hand for that, though, because we can probably finish the game very soon. If not, we kind of just don't play for a while. He drops a 10 drop, bounces all of our characters. I think we have to give him the whole hand. He has no other swings other than 5 in the face, which we will be taking, of course. And now we're going to finish out the game. Let me just tell you, we are finishing out the game because we have way too many rush dragons. So we are going to have to finish out this game, right? So we're going to go 9, 9. We'll go 9 first, and then we're going to go 9, and then we're going to go 12. He gets out of it. Oh my lordy lord. Oh my lordy lord. How's Abigail?
I saw a cat.
You saw a cat?
I'm gonna go find it.
Okay, go find it. Okay. Alright, and then we go into the next one. Bye, Miss Abigail. We're not taking it in, actually, though. Oh my gosh. At least we cleared up the board a little bit. He doesn't know that we have no counter, so we at least got to clear up the board. This guy knows that we don't have counter. Stream sniping! No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, we only have a 2K. Literally, that just is so stupid. But it's what he had to do in the moment, right? Because he had no counter, we had no counter. GG's, that was kind of fun, but I think we should have pressed face a little bit more earlier and we would have won. We went for game because we had to, but we had nothing to affect those little bodies. So blue, I think, is going to be a tough matchup for this red deck. I think it's the new black for us because they do have the gravity blade, the bottom decking. I just think Boa is really good in the red in general. Maybe not blue totally, but definitely Boa because she takes you off tempo. You're always having to use extra Dawn to play out characters, so I don't know, just my thought, but who knows. Alright guys, it looks like Bonney is going to be our next deck we go against here. I think this is actually a really good start, getting 2 searchers. They choose to go first. We'll keep this for the 2 searchers for the consistent pieces, which is really good in this deck, you know, always having searches. So we're going to look at the top 5, grab a Zoro. I think the rush options are going to be really good. This does nothing, it just gets rested and killed, so definitely not that. We're going to go with the rush Zoro here, and then we're going to play out the Nami. Nami is going to find us probably the other rush Zoro. The unblockable will be good later, but I'd rather not give him the info that we have it now. So that's why I'm not going to play the rush Zoro right now. Or the rush Luffy. I think we definitely hold on to the rush Luffy for a little bit. He goes 5 in a face. We're going to take, and we have 2 of these things. Good thing we did not take it because that is more no counter. Like, we have no counter, guys. We can go 6 in the face. Oh my gosh, you really did scare me. I thought you really did go grab a cat right now. Oh my gosh. Oh, sweet little kitty. So now we get to put the 2 rested Dawn on our Zoro, swinging 7 into face and being very aggressive, cutting off their leader ability basically because they can't swing into our Nami. The reason we took the first one is so that they couldn't starve us out. The Sanji, I think, will come into play against this matchup. This is one of the decks that I tell you wants to starve you out, so you really have to play against it. They play down the carrot here, and then they're not going to swing Dellinger because Dellinger does so much for this deck. They go 5 in a face. I'm going to take that. I'm going to take that and have no stress about it. They do get the Dawn active, so what we'll do here is probably the same thing, but we could go 7 this time and then 8. We're going to keep pushing out this one rather than the Zoro right here, just because they're going to freeze this and then kill this instead, and we're getting rid of counter in hand, or no counter in hand, I should say, and this won't be good because they tap down our leader after, right? So we're going to go 7 into face, trying to force out 2 cards, and then we're just going to drop another Zoro. I think Zoro is going to be so good against our opponent here, especially because he can't rest out anything else, and it forces cards out of hand because he has to get out of this, right? Like, he knows what's coming. And, I mean, if we do this, it's still the same 7, but again, no counter out of hand is going to be better than bringing counter out of hand against this deck specifically. With the carrot already on the board, that's going to be the best option. Just having more counter to protect our Zoro that is in hand already. The next turn, we're dropping Dragon. We are literally just dropping Dragon on their face, dragging these nuts. You know how it is. They have the EBO2 Bonney. Up to one of your opponent's rested characters will not become active in your opponent's next refresh phase. Then at the end of your turn, set one of your Dawn as active. That's crazy. That's criminal. That's crazy right there. He goes 6 here, freezing our character. We are going to counter out of this. I think we will give him the Sanji. I think it's a little too late to play it out and really get value out of it. If he plays another carrot, frick. Like, literally just, oh no. Okay, Hawkins is okay. Hawkins is a little less scary at least. But the thing is, we can become unblockable here. So we will give him the 1K Zoro. Again, it would just get frozen. Oh, I'm stupid. Whoops. I was not paying attention there. So we know we're going to go 7 here, probably, right? Because if we go 7, then we go unblockable into the carrot. He's not going to give us the Hawkins off the rip. This is where the unblockable comes into play. So then we would have, what, 5? I'd much rather go the unblockable than the dragon, I think. Would I rather go the dragon? No, because if I go dragon first, we don't have the ability. We need to go with this first. So, frick. We're just going all in, I guess, with this. I'm literally just lost. I'm lost in the sauce. It's unblockable at least. We do get to clear the carrot out, but at what a expense, you know? He gets to tap down our leader. That's going to be really good. I meant to swing this first for 7, get a 2K out of hand, and then go unblockable, but I totally just misclicked there, and that could cook the game. They're in the microwave. Yeah. Please no. All right, and we clear the carrot. That's very important, because what if he has another one? Whoops, we're just cooked after that. I literally just misplayed 2 turns in a row, not countering out properly because I thought he swung 5 and not 6. He plays the Eustace Captain Kid. He thinks he's got us. Guys, he thinks he's got us. He don't got us. He do not got us. Okay, maybe he got us. the Rosinante be paired so well with this. He's going to swing 6. We are going to give him the 2K this time and actually give him the 2K, keeping one of our bodies. He does not want to give us, you know, the Basil Hawkins here, which is very smart in my opinion, you know. Why give us the Basil Hawkins when you don't have to? We could go another unblockable here. So, but if we put the unblockable first, we're cooked. So we need to find a way to use the Dawn first to get our full leader ability here. He has a good amount of counter in hand, but we did pressure a lot of counter out earlier. We could also force out the dragon, but the dragon I just don't think will be as good here, just because we don't get the 2 rested Dawn, right? So I think the unblockable Luffy, but double unblockable Luffy is just not as good. We need to find a way to use the Dawn though, you know? We could play out the Nami for 1, right? That would give us 1 Dawn here for free, basically. Getting another character on board that we can use later. And then how do we do this mathematically? I'm trying to see what makes sense here to clear out this body as soon as possible, you know, because something's getting tapped down. We know that. Like, no doubt about that. 4, right? We go 10 into the Eustace Captain Kid. I think that's going to be a good start right there. We'll start with that, right? We'll go 10 into Eustace Captain Kid. It's kind of what we have to do. Trying to force out 2 cards or the blocker. If he gives us this blocker, we're in a very good spot here. If he gives us the Hawkins, I think we're actually in a worse spot. So if I was him, I would do the Hawkins just because this Rosinante is really good. But you also never know if we're playing the 1-drop Nico Robin, which may be very necessary for this deck list. And he just wants to save it. So we may actually just play this out, develop another body on the board, being like, hey, I have unblockable still. And then going this here, attach 1 Dawn to leader. We could go 8 into it, just forcing out another card, right? But then we have no counter for it later. We'll do it anyways. We're crazy. He's got a 1K for sure. There's no way you don't have a 1K, right? Yeah, he's got a 1K. I don't think we played that properly, but the sequencing there was just kind of really weird because I was trying to find a way to do the best mathematically, and I was just like, this is too much thinking for me. This is too much thinking. I'm not doing that. It might have been better just to play out the dragon here, you know, just because the dragon is so strong. It's a high, you know, high power character. He puts the 1 on the Eustace Captain Kid. He swings 9 probably into this, and we will have to give that up. I don't think it's worth countering out. Not that we can, guys. We can't even counter out of that one. Let's just be honest to ourselves about it at least. We don't have to be honest with him, but hey, he wants to swing the Basil Hawkins here. He's gonna go 9 here. Again, looks like I'm dropping Dragon on this next turn. This Dellinger is putting in work, getting that free Dawn every time. And now he's probably gonna go 8 into this. Man, he's got us against the ropes. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Where's my water at? I didn't even bring my water in here. Decisions, my guy. Technically, he could actually just swing in the face with his leader because he gets to tap down one of our characters anyway. So if he's going to tap something down, you might as well, you know, just give that up. Busy. All right, he plays out another Basil Hawkins, swings 6 into this, and he does get to clear it out. Like, I don't know what to do with that situation. We definitely will be playing out the... See, if we play this out, we just lose it. You know what I mean? So it's like, what do we even do here? I think we just lose. Like, in all honesty. Because even if we play out the Sanji... yeah, this is only going to force out 1 blocker. We'll put 2 Dawn on itself. We'll put another Dawn on itself. And now it just forces out a Rosinante. That's not that good, in my honest, humble opinion. We'll go 12 here. It guarantees that he has to use a blocker, right? And that's the most important thing. I think you give us the Hawkins in this point. I think the Hawkins would just be better. We could have even gone more, but he gives us the Rosinante. The Hawkins can swing for lethal, so I really don't blame him on that one. We just passed turn. What do we do? What do we do? I think the Hawkins or the Eustace Captain Kid with the Rosinante really cooks against this deck, but we're going to find our way to dig our way out of this one. We only have 1K counter, He has 4 lethals, 5 swings on the board technically, and we have 4 life. So he only needs, he can only miss 1. Come here, buddy. All right, we're gonna hold on to Tizzy for good luck. We can't even do anything about that, so we just let it die. I'm just like, hey, you already counter-checked me. I got nothing. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do here? Because his Eustace Captain Kid has 3 lives. He has 3 lives himself, or 3 hits that have to go into lethal, right? So, I mean, with having the 2 Captain Kids, now he gets to go 7s across the boards here. All right, if you're gonna sit there and bite me, I'm not gonna pet you. 7 into face. We're just going to take, we do get the unblockable Luffy, which I think is going to be possibly our saving grace here. If I'm honest, I think that's really what we needed. Because now we can go 1 rested Dawn on leader to give 2 rested Dawn here. He has that many cards in hand. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That would make us 12. 12 is guaranteed. It's unblockable and he doesn't have anything to do after that. So we're going to go 12. You can't do anything now. It's unblockable. It's unblockable. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, buddy? He's definitely gonna clear this out on his next turn, but hey, we took down the Eustace Captain Kid. That's all I needed. I just needed to see that one thing happen, and we basically won the game now. Like, you know, this deck just doesn't have the... Wow. Fair enough. Hey, fair enough. Can't even be mad. 8 into face. We're just gonna have to take that. That's crazy. I think we just lose, guys. I think we just lose. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Because he is in the safest spot, so he could hit us here. We'd have to give him all 4 cards from hand, and then, I mean, technically after that, he could just go 7 and 7. I think we take and then try to force out. No, even if he swings these Hawkins, we just lose. Like, legitimately, if he just swings the Hawkins, we just lose. Because 2, 1, 2, 3, and then this would have to be 3 1Ks in hand. Technically, he could have just swung us, but it's guaranteed not to have lethal on the board, basically, with 1 blocker, 3 swings, 1 getting tapped down. So how do we mathematically do this, right? I think we go 7 into face. We go face here. This is going to be like a just Hail Mary play, right? We're going to have to use this even without what it has. It's just what we're stuck with. We had to give him the Machino earlier, so that put us in a tough spot. He'll tap down the Nami, which I think was incorrect. He should have gone for this Nami. He does take here, and then we will go, what, 5. If we play this for 3, it swings in for, what, 6? Yeah, there's no way. It's literally impossible to win right now. Legitimately. Because, I mean, no matter what, he still has the blocker available. So if we would have more rush units, possibly, there's just not a way to swing this and swing actual lethal numbers. Because if not, he just blocks out and he kind of wins. I will say we are cooked. It is cooked. Play this out for 3. We'll just swing 7 here. Nah, fuck it. Nah, we'll just go 7. We're going 7s across the board, but again, he guaranteed does not lose. We're just, right, guys? Right, guys? Oh, you messed up. You messed up. Not really. We go here. We swing 7 here. If we would have had another 3, you know, to maybe do rush, but it didn't matter. We just lose. GG's to our opponent. He has the 10 drop, the 8 drop. I think they just play a little too big for us. That one didn't work out. Guys, that was me learning this deck. It started off really hot, it ended not so well, but hey, it's a deck to learn. It's not going to be competitive, in my personal opinion, after playing it, but I think it's a fun, just bash your head in and see what happens kind of deck. I'm also personally not against putting another Zero engine in a red deck. You know what I mean? I don't think that would be bad. I think this Monkey D. Luffy could play very well in that same engine. We could also go maybe for a more passive red deck that goes more for removal, removing the board. Maybe instead of playing the Koala, we play the 1-drop Nico Robin. Where's she at? This one right here, that's a Straw Hat uncommon. KO one of your opponent's characters with 1,000 power or less. I think you can need this for certain matchups as a 2 of or so, but people are still learning the deck and stuff. I think the Koala is just kind of mid. This is at least searchable removal. It doesn't pair with anything, but it genuinely just gets out chump blockers, Rebecca's, and stuff like that. That's why this card's played. Legitimately, it helps us in that black matchup for Rebecca, but it also helps us in that green matchup with Bonney. So I definitely play this as a 2 to 4 of, depending on your build and setup. I definitely think, you know, there's other ST21 characters we could be playing. Let's look at ST21, see what we could be playing. I mean, you know, I definitely would not be playing any of these events. I don't think they're good at all. Draw 1 card is not bad. I mean, honestly, a 1-drop 3K that allows us to draw a card, but that's only on KO, so I guess that's not good. If it was on attacking, I would be like, yeah, we're playing that, but nah, not like that. Times 2 Dawn, your opponent's turn. This character gains plus 2,000 power. I'm actually not against that as a 2K counter. I'm not going to lie. I think that could do a lot in the game. Stussy's not going to do anything. Yeah, I think that's the deck list for me. Let me know if you will be picking up this leader anytime soon when it comes out. Obviously not anytime soon because it doesn't come out anytime soon for us, but if you do want to play that leader, let me know your thoughts on it, your deck list and stuff like that. I'd love to hear from you guys. We also have, deck recommendation channel, so if you want to just drop some recommendations in there in the Discord, you're more than welcome to. Help us out. One Piece family. I'll see you later. Like, subscribe, all that good jazz. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.